Hello and welcome to Reykjavík Grapevine's Newscast. My name is Valur Grettisson. I'm the editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. This is my chief of morale officer, Polly, daughter of a hot dog, or pulsudóttir as we say. We are filled with news in this beautiful rainy day. It's actually summer solstice today. I'm going to go a little bit into that, of course. But before that, we have a summer sale on t-shirts. It's a ridiculous weather actually to advertise anything like this, but we did not see this coming, but so it goes. We have around 2 months per year where we can actually wear t-shirts in Iceland. So think about us when you're wearing this in like September, October or something. We offer this for, you can have it for 20% discount of all shapes, size, and whatnot with Iceland themed motifs. But it started to rain, yeah, and the hast, of course. We're going to go a little bit into marriages in Iceland. We changed the laws about marriages in Iceland. It's easier to get divorced, but more about that later on. First, news. We'll start with the headlines today. Today it was reported that Fjaðrárgljúfur, which is a canyon in the south of Iceland, close to Kirkjubæjarklaustur. I know this sounds all very foreign to you or alien. This is the easiest way to find this canyon is basically to look at Justin Bieber's video with the song "I'll Show You." He is playing around in Iceland, singing, dancing and whatnot, or basically just running for some reason. And you can see this beautiful canyon there. And he kind of like catapulted this canyon into the into everything in the world. It became like a rock star in itself. And the canyon is absolutely beautiful. It has to be said. So perhaps just go in here a little bit. What they say about Iceland is that if the weather is bad, just wait a minute. Yeah, it's really pouring, isn't it? So, the thing is that this canyon is obviously incredibly famous, and it's incredibly nice, and it's very beautiful. I went there last summer, and I barely knew about this actually before Justin Bieber did this song and this video there. And that area, of course, is incredible. You have the moss, like very old, nice moss there. Be careful about it. Don't like tear it up and so on. But don't be too stressed about it either. Icelanders are not. Yeah, but the thing is that there were some private investors that bought the canyon for around 2 million, both dollars and euros. They're actually not that far apart as a currency right now. And they actually offered the government to buy the land, but the government said no to this. It would have been nice, but the government tries not to do this. They have been offered these kind of deals before, but what they do instead is actually they make this like a sanctuary or something like that. So it means that the place will go with some like. They will give them money to like build roads and so on, but the possibilities are actually that they will charge money for the canyon, visiting the canyon. That's the bad news. Icelanders are, like, just to say the least, not fond of this idea. Some companies have been trying to do this, and this has been proven very unpopular decision. Although many of them just have to do it. It's simple as that. You have to have some infrastructure and so on. How to pay for this? Well, we do. So it's not all bad, you know. So the canyon sold. It's now in the hands of private investors. If you want to go there and pay nothing for it, this is the summer to do so. Next summer will probably not be so kind. And summer solstice. Look at this. It's incredible. You can see that this is obviously not the best day right now. And the thing is, of course, the summer solstice comes every year, and this is the brightest day in Iceland over the year. Like the 21st of December is our darkest. This is, for example, just to explain to you, the sun rose at 2:54 last night, and it sets at midnight. So we get around like just under 3 hours of night in Iceland. There are many folklore actually connected to this night. But many of it actually, surprisingly, are more or less something that we have adopted from Europe, and mostly the UK, and probably very connected to when Icelanders were Vikings and we were raping and pillaging all the time. Vikings took slaves, they came to Iceland, many of them were Irish, and it more or less probably came from them. So many of these things are, for example, that some believe that animals can talk in the night. They can talk like humans. Others, stories are about, I think it's not kelpies, but similar. It's like it's seals that they take off their seal skin and become humans. And what they do to these nights is that they party the whole night. They have a very much of a party and so on. And it's actually a nice tradition, like nice way to go about it. And also Icelanders, they believe that if you roll in the grass dew in the morning, like there should be a dew, not like pouring, it will heal your body. And the best way, of course, to do this is to be naked. Don't do it though, naked like in somewhere. But Icelanders will not be way too shocked about that, so don't worry about it. The night is also better to look for magical stones. It's said to be the best night, actually, if you want to find the stone for Helm of Terror, or Hulins Helmur. Helm of Terror is a rune that you put on a stone, and this rune will make you, it's impossible to beat you in a fight. No swords will kill you and so on. So, I mean, if you're up for a fight in the next 2 days or 3 or whatever, then this will be the night to get your Helm of Terror stone. And COVID-19 is spiking. This is happening all around the world. I was going over the numbers in the US. They're also going very rapidly up right now. But the same also is happening in Iceland, is that the deaths are not going up. Although we've had 2 deaths in Iceland past week. These people are senior citizens almost always. We have 34 people in the hospital with the virus, although no one is in intensive care anymore. About 200 people are getting the virus every day, and we have lost 2 lives, like I said. And the chief epidemiologist says that this is not a new wave. So there is there are rules about what is a new wave and what not. And he says that it's just more wider community spread. There you have it. And this means that people that are getting this are older people. We have opened up like a vaccination center in Mjóddin, Breiðholt. If you're living in Iceland and you're perhaps immigrant or Icelandic speaking, then this is the place you want to go to. You can get your vaccinations there, and you can also, if you're over a certain age, you can get the 4th shot. I'm not quite sure how that works, but you can find this all on covid.is. But the most important thing, of course, for perhaps our viewers is that nothing is changing when it comes to restrictions. But, of course, be careful and so on. And then to love, right? Divorce has been made easier for people, mostly because if a person is in an abusive marriage, the parliament passed a bill presented by the Reform Party, in Icelandic that's Viðreisn, about this, that the spouse can divorce his or her husband, wife, without him or her having anything to say about it. That if they refuse to sign the papers, that is not a thing anymore. So it means that if you can actually, but you have to have evidence that you or your children have been subjected to violence, and if so, you can just divorce the fucker and basically, sorry about that, you can divorce the man. Or the woman, is mostly the man, right? And they can't use this as a weapon or anything like that. That we have seen this often in Iceland. You probably have seen this also in your home country. Not only that, but divorces have also just been simplified. So if people want to separate, they don't have to go through the whole separated by bad situation. Never understood that, by the way. there are like period of time that you have to realize like if you want to really do this or not. But if both people are, do you think the weather is fine? That is willing to take the chance. Okay. So the thing is, of course, yeah, it's better. Okay. So the thing is that if you want to, if both people are hell-bent on getting divorced, then that means that they can just divorce straight away. It's not that complicated. They are both, adult people. They can take their own, decisions. This is definitely a weird thing. I've never understood completely. Þarna er hann, Polly. Hvað boltinn? But women's rights activists have criticized that people have to prove that they have been subjected to violence. This could lead to more complications and so on, and in most cases to keep them stuck in the marriage. This is not obviously a good situation, but the laws are definitely better than they used to be. They were, in my opinion, quite old. The thing is also, I just want to show you here also, Icelanders, for example, they just don't get married. We do like, there are like 4 to 6 of every 1,000 that get married, and most of them don't even do it in churches. For example, a friend of mine, and many people actually, they do it here. This is interesting. They actually, in a beautiful day, not like a day like this, they actually make this very beautiful with lights and whatnot. And the priest is like here, this is like a stage, and the 2 people will stand here and they will have the marriage here with all the people around. It's a beautiful spot, and this is of course Hellisgerði. This is my childhood playground. When I was a child, I was here every day. I even fell down here many times. I thought once I actually died when I think I got knocked out or something. So it's a wonderful place, obviously. But the thing is, of course, when it comes to marriages in Iceland, we do get married, of course, but 40% of all of these marriages, they end up with divorces. This is according to the statistic from the Ministry of Welfare from 2020, actually. And marriage statistics in Iceland is quite low. It's around 4 to 6 of every 1,000 get married. And we are not big into this. We also get married much later. We are not getting married at 18. Nobody does that in Iceland. We are getting married around, like the women are around 27 years old, while the men are around 30 years old. The reason we do this is because we don't think it's important to get married in the eye of the Lord. That basically means that and it holds it together with our view to religion. We are, as I have said so often before, agnostic when it comes to it, or just even just flat up atheists, or just heathen or pagan. But we are not that much. We don't think this is important at all. Also, because women's rights are incredibly strong in Iceland, this means that it's not really an issue if a woman is alone with children, like a single mom. This has not been an issue in Iceland more or less since, I would say, like in the 90s, like 80s, 90s. We had, for example, the first female president in the world was a single mother. So, I mean, you can't really do worse than that, can you? Or better. So it's like Icelanders are very positive when it comes to this. We do not in more conservative communities, people are obviously very negative towards this. But in Iceland, it's like, if you find someone and you really love him, many of us, like me and my girlfriend, we've been together for like around 15 years. But many of us get married way later at life. And it's not an unusual way to go about things. Most people that actually get married in the end have been living together, unmarried, for years. So it's like they know exactly who they are. They often just do it for legal reason. That's the other thing, being like you have some rights if you live together and you're not married, but it's not it's not as much. So when we do it, it's almost always for practical reason, or tax reason, basically. The most romantic reason of all times to get married, right? And like, what if I die? Like, yeah, we need to get married. So it's more about like death and taxes. That's what marriage in Iceland is about. Love is something completely different in the eyes of Icelanders. We don't see that the institute as a part of it at all, which is interesting because Icelanders are also not viewed as a very romantic people. I think that's very true also. We are not. But when we are in love, and we are very loyal when it comes to this, and so on. So, that's it for the news, actually. I will not be with you next Thursday. I will be in Italy in some heat wave there. So today I'm saying like this is a crappy weather, but tomorrow I will say I would so much want to be back in Iceland in the cool rain. Although it's been fantastic weather in Iceland, we have had like around 8 to 15 degrees. That is actually very nice in Iceland. It's much hotter, and I mean it's not perhaps t-shirt weather all the time, but it's pretty close to it. So remember our t-shirts if you want to go there, and remember that to like and subscribe, and remember to be nice with Josie when she tells you the news in the next newscast. So until next time, later.